Привет! Hey everyone, my name is Alina, or just call me Ellie, and today we will learn 50 basic phrases in Russian if you have just started to learn the language, or maybe if you're going to Russia and you need some phrases to get around. Of course, there is no magic pill and you will not start speaking Russian fluently right after this video, but it's the Russian language, so you need to work hard. Even we Russians learned Russian for 11 years in high school, but believe me, you don't need all that complicated grammar from high school. So let's start with 50 basic phrases that will be very useful for you if you're just starting your journey in the Russian language. Let's start. Давайте начнем. To say hi in Russian, you say привет, привет, or здравствуйте, which is much more complicated to pronounce.
Здравствуйте, дорогие наши друзья и коллеги.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Андрей Курпатов.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Мади, я хочу поговорить с вами о депрессии.
And it is used in formal situations. If you don't know the person or if he is older than you. For example, children will always say it to their teachers, professors, some very, very formal situation. Also, to say the greeting, you can say доброе утро, good morning, добрый день, good day, or добрый вечер, good evening. If you want to know how your friend is doing, you say как дела? Как дела?
О, привет, как дела? Та-та-та-та.
But remember that in the Russian language this question has a very different meaning rather than in English. In English, I noticed that this question is used just as a form of greeting. Hey, how are you? But in Russian, if you ask this question, be ready to hear everything that is going on in person's life. So ask this question only if you're genuinely interested. And to answer this question, you say нормально, I'm fine, все хорошо, all is good, or прекрасно, прекрасно, wonderful. By the way, the word хорошо is very important, which means good, and it can be used both as a question and as an answer, and with this word the whole dialogues can be built. For example, я возьму это, хорошо, which means I'm gonna take this, okay? And another person can answer хорошо, which means okay, you can take it. Now let's talk about the phrases that you will need upon arrival in Russia, for example, when you are at the airport or simply when you meet people in the streets. The word that you will need a lot is где, which means where. And it's very easy to form a question. Just add a noun after the word где. Где автобусная остановка? Где метро? Где магазин? Super easy. But then if the person is telling something to you and you don't understand, you can ask him, maybe he speaks English. Вы говорите по-английски?
My name is Alexander. I work on
I don't want to disappoint you, but in most of the time the answer will be no.
Нет.
Or the person will say я не понимаю. Я вас не понимаю. But don't panic, because you have an opportunity to learn Russian in our Russian speaking club in a very informal and fun way, and you don't have to have any prior knowledge in Russian, because we have a group from zero where we start with the alphabet. And if you don't have an opportunity to practice Russian, here you will have it in our live speaking sessions, and we also make different tasks where you practice Russian through audio and video messages with other members in our group chat. So I hope that I will see you there soon in our lessons. Well, if you're still trying to understand that person, you can say повторите, пожалуйста. Or if this person is talking way too fast and your level is not enough to understand, you can say «Говорите, пожалуйста, медленнее». Говорите, пожалуйста, медленнее. Well, if you still haven't understood that person, you can say «Я не понимаю по-русски» or «Я не говорю по-русски». «Я не говорю по-русски». And you can add «Простите» or «Извините». Sorry, I don't speak Russian.
Простите, пожалуйста, извините, пожалуйста. Прошу прощения от всего души, от всего сердца.
Another very important and useful word – спасибо, which means thank you.
Ну, спасибо за внимание.
Спасибо.
Спасибо. Спасибо. Спасибо.
And to answer спасибо, we say пожалуйста. You're welcome. Пожалуйста. But this word is not only you're welcome, but also it means please. For example, подскажите, пожалуйста. Подскажите, пожалуйста, где метро?
Russian.
Пожалуйста, отпустите меня.
Пожалуйста.
Пожалуйста, отпустите меня.
Пожалуйста, отпустите меня.
And another way to say you're welcome is не за что, which means it's okay, it's nothing. Another useful phrases to get around is как доехать до or как дойти до. The first one is by transport and the second one is by walking. And if you want to show a direction or someone is showing you a direction, he will probably use the words здесь, here, or там, there. Maybe you will ask где метро? And the person will say там or здесь, which is closer than там. But if you're really lost in the city and you can't even understand where you are at on a map, you can ask a person где я? Где я нахожусь? If you want to know the name of the street or of the metro station, you say как называется? And then add a noun. Very simple. For example, как называется эта станция метро? Как называется эта станция метро? Another necessary phrase сколько времени? We use it to find out time. But according to the rules of the Russian language, the correct question for this is который час. But in the conversational language we use both of these questions.
Девушка, а который час? Минут 10, 15, минут 5, 10, 5, 4, 5.
After answering this question, the person might ask you a counter question. Вы поняли? Did you get me? Did you understand me? Or an informal way, дошло, but it's very informal, so don't use it with strangers, but only with those who you know very well. Дошло. And to answer this, you can say да, which means yes, but a much cooler and more conversational will be конечно, of course. But don't use this word with the adverb конечная, which you will hear a lot in the metro announcement, which means the last. Конечная станция Маяковская. Also, you can say конечно, без проблем. Без проблем means no problem, it's okay. And in order to diversify your vocabulary and not to say да or конечно all the time, you can say ладно. And this is very, very conversational, and if you use this, everyone will think that you speak Russian very well. Just say ладно, which means okay, okay. Ладно, я сделаю это. Можно is another form of consent. For example, someone asks you a permission and you can say можно, which means okay, you can do it. And you can also use it to form different questions. Just use any noun after this word and you're ready to order something at the restaurant, for example. You can say можно это? Can I have this? Or in order to draw attention of the waiter, you just say можно? Можно? And if you say может быть, it means maybe. For example, someone asks you to go out, and you say «может быть» or «возможно», maybe.
Возможно, просто
Мне нравится. A phrase that you need to approve of something or to say that you like something or someone. For example, мне нравится чай. By the way, Russians love tea a lot. They drink it 5 or more times per day. But to disapprove of something, you say мне не нравится. Мне не нравится кофе.
Мне не нравится эта экспедиция. Мне не нравятся эти матросы. И вообще. Что? Да. Нет. Мне вообще ничего не нравится.
Сколько это стоит? A necessary phrase that you will need in a shop or if you want to buy anything. Сколько это стоит?
Дымоход, сколько стоит шмот? Дымоход, дымоход.
Another word – сдача, which means change, so always check your сдача very carefully. If you didn't understand something, you say «что?». For example, you didn't hear a person, so you say «что?». It means what. I heard that in English it's kind of impolite to say what, but in Russian we ask this question all the time. «Что?». Что ты сказал? Or, for example, you are at the restaurant and you don't understand what is this weird Russian dish. And you can say, что это?
Да что ты, черт побери, такое несешь?
And a very informal way to say что is чё. But it is used in a very conversational way, and it is considered not a beautiful language and not educated language, but still people use it a lot, and they shorten already a short word «что» into «чё». «Чё это?» «Чё ты сказал?» Another phrase that you might need – «какая разница?» For example, again, you're at the restaurant and you can't choose between two dishes which seem super similar, and you say «какая разница?» And also you can use this phrase to say that you don't care. Someone told you something and you say «какая разница?»
Одно слово, румын.
Так он болгарин.
Да? Какая разница?
Another word that you might need is «серьезно», which means serious, but you can make it as a question and say «серьезно» if someone told you some shocking news and you say «серьезно». And the last words you need to remember is to say goodbyes. We say «пока» or «пока-пока». We also say «до свидания» if it's a formal situation, or «увидимся», see you later.
Пока-пока, Рокси.
Привет.
I hope that you liked this video and watched it till the end, and I hope that this is only the beginning of your journey in Russian and you will continue and not give up. Не сдавайтесь, I'm gonna say to you. And if you liked this video, put the «мне нравится» sign, «мне нравится» sign, and увидимся. Пока-пока!